This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so in the last class we have seen a couple of enhancements and how to share using GitHub, right? Everybody comfortable with GitHub? Okay, did everybody go fork this? I don't think so. Nobody forked this. And at least did you clone it or download it? So did you take the update? How did you take the update then? Okay. So okay, there are some Git commands. I'll show you. So once you open Git, Git is a Git bash. Okay, one you can, if you are comfortable with, use the same without going to this using the command prompt. So git help will give you all the commands. These are all the commands. So for once you install the git bash, you can check its version. Version is supposed to be latest version, that is 2.21. And then just start with git init. Okay, so then once you have permission, you will get it. And then git clone, and then mention this. So if you are in the current CD, to change directly to the folder where you want to clone your, then you automatically get it. So then that's it. Git clone this, and in which project I think it's supposed to, you're supposed to give which automation tutorial something. Okay, so then you can use other commands, git push, git commit as usual. Git
Hi, Sangam.
commit, yes, hi. And then to check after git commit, you can push. Then to check the status of it, when status, you can type git status. So that is for the ones who are comfortable with the command prompt. Otherwise, you can go here and download zip, or then, like I said, you go here, install the git, and then integrate your Eclipse with git. Then you will be able to see like this. You can push and commit from there. Okay. So did everyone do this?
Hi, everyone. Everyone able to hear Sangam?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, please do respond. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you actually fork it and then commit it, I'll see the branches here. So there is only one branch, that is my branch. Okay. So that's what I did. So then I can monitor your homework or whatever work you do here. All right. So contributors, I'll be able to see. Currently, there are no contributors. Okay, this is the 2 persons are me only. I created one is created by me, and I just cloned it from my other account. So nobody for grid. I can see it here. Okay,
Yes,
so
I
at
know.
least you
I
can
did
down.
it. I don't know why it's not showing in there.
Say that again.
No, I already forked that your project from there.
Okay, so let's see how many for. Okay, Masum. Correct. Yeah, Masum for okay. That's right. And this is my other account. So this is the main master branch. Okay, so what about the others apart from Masum? Nobody did that, I guess. Okay, you should do this because from now onwards we will be using GitHub to share the project. Okay, so this is a good version control system software. Okay, so this is what is used in real-time projects also. This are Git, actually it is called. It looks more or less same. And Subversion, SV and others. So all the softwares that are supposed to maintain version control, okay, must be used in project like this because not just one person works on a project, right? Multiple persons share their updates. So the best way to share is using the version control software like this, Git. Okay, so do this. Okay, so just go to this. First you register yourself. Okay, I already told you, go to Git. I already gave you the instructions in the email. Go to Git and sign up for this using your email. Then go to this URL. Okay, this is the .git, and then just fork it. Okay, then once you fork it, it will say it was fork. That means you will have your own branch. Okay, fork means you will contribute your own, so without affecting the master branch. Okay, that is the main idea. Anyways, so coming back to this. Okay, so any questions so far? So we have learned most of the framework topics. Okay, what are those framework topics? How to create page objects, how to create page flows, how to create infrastructure, how to create utilities, how to use them, how to take screenshots, how to report them, right? All these things mostly will be useful in framework level. Okay. Any questions? No questions?
I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, like in terms of creating the automation for any web page, so you go through a lot of stuff. So, as a new person, like what you should do, like before you know, automating any web page.
Yeah, we will see one more example, but before automating any web page, what will you do? So first first you see what are the different parts of application pages that are suitable. I mean, how you can find out the automatable pages. So let's say demoaut.com is the site, right? So in this page you first see, and obviously manual testing, if they are already present, manual testing team, they will write the scenarios based on, so first sign up, then book a flight, and then validate the prices, and so, and then finally end it. Okay, so that's what we do. So similarly, you see as automation tester, if whether the automation manual test case is present or not, see how well you can navigate through this, whether there are any dynamic elements like Angular JS elements. This is a very old site, so this doesn't have any dynamic Angular JS elements. So you're good. So all these are links. So how first thing you will be concentrating on is how do you capture all these XPaths. So first and foremost, you will concentrate on page objects. Okay. So in the page objects, I want to capture all these. So first register Then after register, go through this. These are all objects, because web page is a collection of objects. Everything is an object in web page. And you capture, every object is identified uniquely by a XPath. So all you have to do is just capture those XPaths and store them in the page object model. That is the first thing, right? So once that is done, this infrastructure is already created. There is no need to create again. And I mean, you will keep on adding, but most of the infrastructure elements like clicking a link, setting text, select drop downs, getting text, click radio button, click checkbox, all these implicit wait, all these are reusable functions that are created by you. So you can, exactly the names of them, and you know how to use them. So these are just one time only job. These are project specific. Then once you have created, then you'll go and create the page flows. What are the page flows? Page flows is how do you operate on them. You already found out the unique address XPath for this, and then you operate on them. So best way to operate is using the operations like infrastructure. So all functions are there, mostly the operation level functions. So set text and pass the driver and XPath directly using the static way, using the class name. And then data pool. Data pool you create first hand. So data pool is already created here. Oh, so okay, it is opened in here. Let's open it. So you can also use Open Office, like I said. You can open with system editor. Okay, default editor is the default editor. It will open in Eclipse. System editor will open with the Excel outside. Okay. So first I mean, this may be the first step also. First you store all the test data here, right? And then you capture the XPath. So either way it is. First you start with data pool. Data pool is because you need the data. Without data you cannot proceed. So once this is done, then you will call these in the tests. So you will create page level flows. Then you will call these in a step-by-step manner. So first I instantiated setup is instantiated in this test data pool. I would call all this row values, right? And then here launch the browser. This is a setup process, and then call the page level flows like registration details, confirmation, flight finder page, select flight, book a flight confirmation page. Okay, in the sequential order, and in the final block I put driver.close. Okay, so this is the easiest way. Okay, for this we will create today another test. And utilities, of course, utilities are need based. So these are already like infrastructure. These are one time only. Excel utils, file system utils, keyboard utils, password utils, reporting utils. All these are just need based. You will use them in the page level flows. So mainly page level flows is where you will utilize the utils. Okay, and in test case you will just call them. Okay, so like I said, we will create one more test case for this. Okay, and that flow will be different, little bit different. So what is this test case actually? So you should write the scenario as well. That is the best way to, So let's write scenario name. So what is the actual scenario for this? Let's say there is a scenario in test case, manual test case. What is the actual test scenario for this test case? What are we trying to do here? Register in demo80.com and book a flight. Book a two-way flight, right? Yes, book a two-way flight for, what did we do? 2 persons. and validate the what? Validate the confirmation text and total price. Okay, so this is the test case and we did it. Okay, so let's say what is the other test case we wanted to do. We will do it here. So tell me, what is the other test case? What is the other scenario you can come up with in the same site? Let's say this is test number 2. Okay, so you can write the test case naming convention can be anything according to your project level nomenclature. So demo it test 2, or you can say TC2, and I want to cover only one way flight, and that too for one person. Okay, so that's, and you can create one more test case for one way or two ways for 4 persons or 3 persons and see. Okay, and you can also try different things, register and login, and see there are different ways you can create test case. Okay, so for the time being I'll just show you simple one. So this one would be one person one way flight. Okay, this should have main. So I'll just copy this scenario and make modifications accordingly. Okay, the reason I'm doing this is to give you some more practice on this. Please run this book a one-way flight for one person. Okay, so what is the first thing we need to do? Now tell me. We are doing from the scratch. First thing is, just now I told you. What is the first thing you need to do? First thing is start from the data pool. Okay, so for the second test case, I'll create a second row. Okay, I'm copy pasting just to save the time. Otherwise, you can create from scratch. Let's say this is, okay, tell me a name. I'll put some John Doe. Okay, what about the first name too? For the second test case, there will be no first name, right? So I'm deleting. Username, you can create new if you want. Username, let's say user2. Okay, password can be we actually encrypted this password, remember? So if you want to put a different password, encrypt that one and come back and put the encrypted one and then decrypt that. Decrypting is already done programmatically, so just need to put encrypted one. So let's say I need to put encrypted one. I'll go to test playground because that's the best way, and here encrypt string, right? I just put auto pass 1 2 3 4 5. So let's put password 1 2 3. So let's run this. So okay, all we need to do is just check. Okay, somewhere it went wrong. Right string. Okay, so this is not really required, right? You are checking how to type in that. Okay, I'll show you this in another website. Okay, so that went successfully, and this is the one. So there is too much gap here. Encrypted string for password 1 2 3. And C equals so and so. Okay. Okay. Just to make sure it is decrypting properly, I'll also call decrypt. string, and I'll pass. So it actually went wrong. So something went wrong. Okay. The reason is because there is all these things. I didn't consider the whole thing. So let's take this out. 1, 2, 3, and this. And so for the time being, this is not the correct one. Okay, so that's it. So the reason I suspected was there was too much space gap. So equals space, then okay, now let's run one more time. Okay, so it is returning me back the original string. So this is the correct encrypted string. So I can put it here. And phone number I can change. If you want, you can change. I don't want to. And I will change few other details. Passengers is how much? How many?
1.
1. Deporting also, if you want, we can change just to see if it's working or not. So what are the deporting? Anybody knows? Deporting other than New York and Paris? Let's see. I just want to run.
You can put
But I will just close it immediately. Okay. So what went wrong? Looks like it's not accessible. Yeah, it is accessible. Okay, I think the site went down just now. Maybe the people who are maintaining, they took it off for maintenance. Okay, so I will keep this aside. Okay, so I'll just fill this data. New York and Paris is okay. Deporting dates are okay. Just one way. We need to put one way. So where is one way? One way are we putting here? One way, two way thing, or are we putting it in test itself? I don't see it one way controlling from here. So let's see from the test case. Oh, it opened up. Okay. Okay. Anyway, one way, two way has to be controlled from data pool, right? So which way? Book a flight finder page. Click radio button. Okay. right, round trip. So here I am controlling one way. So let's not control it from here. Flight finder page and radio button underscore round trip. So if flag is if by default the round trip is selected, isn't it? If it is selected, that's fine. If it is not selected, then select the round trip. So let's change this. We will control this from the data pool. Okay. So just to see, I'll run it again. I hope the site is up and running. It is still down. It's okay. Site looks down when I open here. So oh yeah, site is opening here. Okay. So this is what it is. It is opening from cache here. That's okay. This section of our website currently under construction. Okay, under construction. That's okay. They are maintaining after a long time. All right. So we will just okay. So you can actually do this. I'll give you instructions how to do this. So just mention here number of passengers. Everything is okay. So after the postal code, we will mention one way or two way. Did we mention or not? Just check. No. Right? There is no one way or two way here. Not control it. So I'll put here what do you want to put here? What should be the name of one way, two way? Trip type. Okay. So this is round trip and this is one way. You can type whatever you want, but you have to convert this, translate this into appropriate radio button. There. Okay. So now if this is a round trip, then what you want to do? So that's what you have to program, right? Programmatically you have to change it. So tell me, how do you want to do this? First you have to read, right? How do you read the data? It is data pool dot tc data dot what was that? Get. And then what is the new column we just now added? Trip type.
Trip type, yeah.
So if trip type is simple, there is no complication. If trip type is round trip, then select round trip radio button. If trip type is one way, select one way. Okay, so we are just changing the logic here. So I'll keep this logic, but I'll comment this because this is the old logic. You can enhance this like this. Okay, so now I mentioned trip type here. Okay, so but you have to put a if condition, right? Because you don't know, test case is speaking about one way or two ways, so that has to be driven by the data pool itself. So this is a page flow function. It should not hard code the trip type. So I'm putting generally if condition. So if this dot equals, right? First is round. There are only two, right? Round. Okay. Then click radio button. So same thing. Okay. If that is the case, if the round trip is my test case, then select the round trip. Okay. Else there is only two options. So I can put else. Then what? Use the one-way trip. So there is another XPath for this. So let's see. One way. Okay. We created already. round trip and one way. So simple. This logic is better than the previous logic. So let's comment this logic and put this. Okay, unfortunately we cannot run it because it is under maintenance. Okay, so we will run it when it. Yes, you're saying
So
something.
you with a round trip, you were putting the information for returning. That's your in the Excel sheet. So you have to remove that one also.
Which one?
Returning month and date.
Okay, returning month and date we can because for one way it doesn't make sense if you put a return arriving in city is okay, returning month does not apply. Okay, you're right. Returning date also not applicable. That's it, right? Anything else? No. So let's also ticketless travel. We'll remove it. Okay, this is already put a condition if condition in the page level flow. If ticketless travel yes, then only check the checkbox. Otherwise, don't check the checkbox. So that doesn't affect the functionality. So we'll just leave it. Okay, so that looks perfect, right? So one way, if it is one way, it will come and select this radio button one way. So we are good. Okay, so that will take care, and all we need to do is just fill the details in the test case. Since we already did it before, now I'm going to ask you so that you can tell. Right, I'm going to the test case number 2. So you can rename it as test case number 1 if you want to. One person. This is, you can rename it. So this is demo to test case number 1, and this is 2 persons, 2-way flight underscore. Okay, so both test cases are named appropriately. Demo A to test 1 and demo A to test 2. Okay, so now we'll concentrate on demo A to test 2. Okay, so now tell me what is just tell me the sequential order. What are the things we need supposed to do here? First we need to set up. Okay, what are the setup? First we need to read the data pool, right? How are we reading the data pool? Anyone? How to read the data pool? Using test data pool, isn't it? Should remember this test data pool. And okay, so instead of creating TC data, I'll just instantiate it, right? Test data pool has 2 constructors, one is default and one is parameterized, and I need to call the parameterized constructor. Okay, so in parameterized constructor, what is the parameter I'm passing? The test case number. And what is the test case number for this one? What is the row number for this test case? Yes, what is the row number?
Row number 3.
Row number 2, because it starts from 0. 0 is the header, 1, 2. The test case 2 will have 2. That's it, easy. Is the test case 2, you'll have to pass 2. The same technique, you can actually look at the first test case. Alright. Okay, so then what? Then you have to set up what? Setup, you have to call the setup, right? So for the driver and everything, test run setup. You should remember this. So if you practice, you will remember. Test run setup dot launching the browser, right? Browser type is Chrome or Firefox. Let's put Firefox for this one, okay? Because the first test case we already put URL. So URL and Firefox, these things we are passing from constants, right? Let's pass from constants dot base URL. Already it's there. Okay, you can compare this test case with this test case later. Okay, now this is done. Now what? Now you have to call all these page level flows, right? Now page flows. Yes, how do you call? What is the first page flow? If you look at it, registration. Okay, yeah. Now how do you call? New registration page, right? Dot register details, isn't it?
Yes.
And what's the driver? So driver should be there. So how do you? Where is the driver? Driver is not there. That's why it is showing error. So the test run setup dot launch will return the driver. If you hover over it, it will show you. Because otherwise you cannot see. See, it is returning WebDriver. Setup dot test run setup is taking the browser type and string URL, then returning the WebDriver. Return type is WebDriver. So you should store it in WebDriver driver equals. So then this driver will be maintained throughout the test case. Just import this. Okay. So now it might throw exception, so you have to put it in try catch or add throws declaration. Either way, you can do it. Okay, so for this I will show you little differently. Okay, instead of putting in try catch, let's create annotations at the rate. Okay, so the main function is not required, so okay, that's fine. Okay, test ng is not okay. That's fine. I'll show you the test ng or gene later, so that test ng is not configured yet. Okay, so for the timing, we will just surround with try catch or add throws declaration. Either way, it is fine. So I'm just adding throws. Okay, in the sequential order, what is the next step? After registration page, then what? What is the next step? If you remember, flight finder page, I guess, right? Isn't it? So let's have a look. I mean, because the site is not working, cannot. Okay, so first thing, browser URL we already passed and set up. This is the first step. I skipped this one because I directly passed browser and URL. That is fine. Okay, so then you can add those nice headings or the banners. Okay, that's you can take it from the log utils later. So register page, register details. Oh, first home page registration. This is what we missed. Okay, home page dot registration. Okay, because the clicking link we can make it part of this register details, but we didn't. So we'll just call that first home page. So every time choose a page dot registration. So this is just to click the registration link. We just created a separate class, separate function for that one. Okay, so after this, for flow wise, you can refer to the old test case, registration details, and registration confirmation page, right? That's where we validated the dear whatever username is successful, or registration confirmation. Every time, remember, you can use new keyword to call this non-static way. This is the non-static way of calling using the new instance of home page. That means it is still a copy. It's just like home page h is equal to new home page. Okay, same way. Registration confirmation page dot. So we confirm two things: dear word and note, right? So you can call those two. Confirm page dot then note. Okay, so after this, what did we call? after registration, flight finder page.
Right.
Click flight finder. Actually, okay, so since it's the same thing, we'll copy paste, because there is nothing that changes in the page flows. Why? Because everything is driven by the data pool. Okay, so that's how easy it is now. So you can actually take the same test case and copy paste. That's very easy. Flight finder page. Then after this, select flight. Okay, I'm not copying the comments, so you can copy because it's all just for the readability purposes. And then select flight, then book a flight, right? Everything is driven by driver, that's all. There is no change. So you can literally copy paste this. I mean, unless and until there is one more page involved for that particular test case, you have to call that one as well. In this case, it is one. Book a flight, then flight confirmation page. And finally, the logout page. Okay, so lastly, I put driver.close in the final live block, because in this test case too, I didn't put try catch finally. I did directly added throws declaration for the main. So this will do the same, but I will show you for the different test case how to use the test ng annotations that way. Okay, so finally driver.quit.close, then it will close all the close. So the final test case looks very simple. I mean, setup and page flows, that's all. There's nothing else involved. Okay, all the groundwork is done in the page flows. That's why it's very important to do this. Okay, so the only difference I put it is new test case and Firefox launch. Okay, I don't know whether it will run or not because the site looks down, but let's try once and move forward. At least it will launch the Firefox browser. Yes. Okay, so for first time I'm running in Firefox in this computer. Okay, it is updating Firefox. That's good. So let it update. So first thing we are doing is cleaning the logs, old logs. Okay, deleting the old logs. So that is important. So it already deleted. So anybody is tried to run in Firefox? First time you will see, because it maybe the older version, it will update, then you will run. So just update your Firefox and try the same thing. And new test case you can also run in Edge browser or Opera browser. You can even simulate or emulate in iOS, Android phone. So same way, just a driver has to be there, that's all. Okay, so let's rerun. I guess okay, it's already running, so it after launching. Okay, let's rerun because it took a lot of time and through exceptions, right? Okay, now I hope without throwing exception it will run. You're right here. So now it has to launch the URL. Because of the site down, yeah, it didn't launch, but it hit the URL. That's fine. Okay. So since it's you can try. Okay. So since it's not working, the site itself is down. We cannot do anything about it. We will take the new site for the time being. Okay. So let's call this new test case. I will take a different site because anyway this is important. So this is the site. This is for, oh, this is also down somehow. Okay, looks like most of the sites are down. Why? Or is it me only? Why it is down? Are you able to get this demo AT open on your system? Okay, so we will continue this. Okay, so I'll show you some more enhancements. Okay, looks like internet is problem. It's not even open. Can you try and open this site? Maybe I'll show you tomorrow this site. This is a totally new in terms of the objects and everything. I don't see this problem. Okay, so what you're going to do is, since it's not working on my machine maybe, so for the new test case, okay, for the second test case, what you do is just run this, okay, and see if it is working. If it is not working, try to fix those errors, okay. That way you will get used to them. I mean, fixing errors is very important, so you won't get everything right for the first time, right? So fix those errors if you encounter any. And second test case you are going to run in Firefox. First test case anyway it's working. And related to any other enhancements, what should I say? Okay, so we will actually work on little enhancements because it's already time. I'll end it in next 10 minutes. I have to go somewhere. So I will create new in utils. Okay, so since you should be able to create your own utils, and I want to call this as string utils. These are also important. We didn't create them. Okay, what are the different string utils you want to create? Tell me. Okay, so I'll give you one simple task like what is the different. First of all, I want to get substring of something. Okay, substring, and we want to create a reusable function for it. Okay, so this is to get substring of a string. Okay, now I will create a reusable function. So what is the signature? Public string, and I will make it static string and substring. Let's create our own function. Okay, and what it would take, what do you want to pass argument as? Another string, right? Another string, some full string. Let's call it full string or any input string, doesn't matter. Okay, now how do you capture the substring out of any string? Add return statement, of course. Yes. How do you return a full string? Substring. So full string dot substring, right? Substring with the beginning index and end index. Okay, let's take both. You can leave one as optional. And beginning index, and in this, because this is straightforward, there is nothing complicated, and I want to actually take the beginning index of a character, okay, and pass it here. So you need to pass the beginning index and ending index also. Okay, so now tell him beginning index and ending index are not constant, so you have to take them dynamically. So we have already used it. I'll show you, but we are trying to create a reusable function for that one. So where did we use it? Page flows, flight confirmation page, isn't it? Here, index of, okay. So we want to pass index of something. So that way it will return index of 2. So we will first find out the integers, index of, then find. So this is a multi-level process. So first I'll find integer begin index is equal to yes full string dot index of a character. So I want to find out the index of character. So let's pass this as argument true. So I want to pass this character, index of character, from here. So this will be of char type, and this is begin index. Or if you want to pass the string, let's say, let's put a string itself because character will be too small. So I am putting a string. Okay, index of a string. Let's say begin index string. So this string is for the beginning index, and we already know this is there. And we will create one more thing. So this is for how do you create reusable function for the utilities. End index, and I'll create one more for. You can actually overload this. Okay, if you want to pass characters, you can pass this, and if you don't want to directly pass integers, you can also make integers. So that will be strings, string char string int. Okay, so you can overload this. Here I'll pass end index. Let's see. Okay, these are obviously not. Let's see. Rename beginning index. Oh, already beginning index is passed. So let's say begin index int. Okay, so I pass this, and to substring function I need to pass how many? Beginning index and end index. So all I need to pass is this. All right. So now I will get whatever the string is. So let's call this string substring, something like this, and we'll return this substring. So this will be most easier instead of 3-step process that we followed in the last page flows, the flight confirmation page. We'll just call this substring and pass the full string and beginning index string. Okay, it's not an integer. Beginning index string, where do you want to start from, the whole string, and end index. Okay, so that way it will be easier. For example, you don't want to pass string. Let's say there will be different combinations. I want to pass the only character. There is only one character available, or that may be the best way. So you can simply overload it. How do you overload it? In this case, I will pass character. Okay. Okay. So automatically takes it because index of exists for both character and string. So without changing anything, I just overload it. Okay, so one task per you is you can overload for integers also. Just try this. In this case, you don't need this. Directly you're passing the starting position 2, ending position 5, let's say. Okay, now tell me another string function that you want to create reuse function for. Yes, I want to like remove something from for example, there is a $sign $119. I want to remove $sign, just get the number. So let's create one. So that will be for remove a part of string. Okay, it's not exactly substring. It is similar to replace all. Okay, so let's create replace string. Okay, so this I'll pass the full string. All right, and what else? What do you want to replace with? Replace with something. Replace for. Okay, replace for. Let's call it. You can rename it whatever you want to, and replace with. Okay. So this is I'm replacing for with this. Makes sense. Okay, so what is the logic? What is the function? Anybody remembers? How do you replace a part of string? So let's call the final string is this full string dot replace all, right? Replace all with so much replacement, whatever the replacement it is. Replace all is the best bet. You can create for all of them, but I am choosing only important ones. Okay, so this is a what do you want to replace? For example, I want to replace $sign. Okay, so that is what I put replace for. You can actually put regular expression, but that's okay. String is fine. And what do you want to replace with? Replace with. So try these before you use them. And finally, you want to return final string, whatever the resultant string. I'm calling it as final string. Okay, so let's see what is the error. Okay, so what is missing? Can anybody identify? Something is missing. What should be the return type? String, right? Okay. So you can try it out in quickly. Likewise, you can create other functions also using different length of function. Multiple take like combinations of those functions because directly length is available, so there is no need for one. I try to take different combinations. In this case, substring with index of. That way you'll get one. Okay, so immediately you can check this in playground. Let's check it out here. So the easiest way to do is using string utils. String utils, not this one. Which one is this? This is ours. Okay, so you have to be careful. So let's try out substring with the beginning index string type, and let's say full string is Selenium automation. Let's say that is a full string. Okay, so what do you want to take from beginning index? You want to pass a character. What do you want to take from? So I want to take wherever there is a only I want to print auto. Okay, so the beginning index I am putting is okay this thing. Let's put it here. And ending index is May. Okay, so let's try. Okay, we are not printing anything, right? So that's why it's not printing anything, it's just returning. So let's also print the console. This out substring equals substring. Okay, I'm just putting for one function. Let's run again. Okay, so here we are getting what? Extra this one auto work perfectly, but we are getting this. So for this, what we have to do, we have to modify the function. So the best way to modify do this is by debugging. So now tell me how many extra characters? How many extra characters are there? Because we started from here, right? So we have to add those characters. So 1, 2, 3. 3 characters I have to add, whatever characters you want. So this we want to put it here. We have to add it there. So we are starting from beginning index, right? And that string has certain number of characters length. So simply you add that length to the beginning index. Okay, that is a generic way. So now I am adding, yes, tell me, begin index dot length, right? So that is the logic. Now if you run it, you will get the auto word. Okay, got it. So that is totally generic. So first letter, okay, so first if I start from here, what is the problem? You already know, because it starts from here. You have to add the length of this so that it will start from here. End letter, it does not matter because it directly start from here. It will give the starting position of the end character or end string. So there is no problem. So that is the logic. Now the logic is complete. Now you apply the same logic for the other function also, character. Character, it doesn't matter. You have to add one because this is single character, right? So you have to add one. So that you take care. Okay. So you have to work. Okay, what is the next function? String utils. We are trying to test it out. That's all. Okay, what is the next function? Replace string. So now I pass the full string, for example, $12345. Okay, you can actually add dot dot and see if you can get the only the integral part 12345. That you try. Okay, you have to try something, otherwise you won't get it. Okay, replace what? What do you want to replace here? Yes, I want to replace dollar. Replace with what? At least tell me this. What do you want to replace in order to get rid of? What do you want to replace this with? Simple end string. You have to answer it. Otherwise, I wouldn't know. Okay. So let's run it. I'm going to end it in next 5 minutes. Not next 2 minutes. Okay. So since still what is the problem? We didn't add. This is out. Okay. So let's replace string equals plus final string, isn't it? So now let's try and run. Okay, is it replaced? No. Okay, why? Because the replace all takes what? Regular expression. All right. So we have to enter something. What is the indication of entering regular expression? Anybody? You have to put the brackets, right? So that is what it is missing here. Replace for, this has to be regular expression, not a string. So let's put those like this. Okay, so those are missing. Plus and plus. Okay, so now let's try it again. Okay, so now $sign is gotten rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is how you have to think. The main way I'm telling you this is how to think in order to create a function. So create a new function on your own and see how it is working by debugging this. Okay. Okay, so I'll end this session today, and tomorrow we'll continue with the new site demo and this new test case. New test case you can actually run. Okay, that is your homework. Do it. Do the homework. Take the update from the latest. Okay, take it. I'll monitor it and do the homework and push it. Okay, that's how it works. All right. Okay, so I'm ending this session here.